Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Gauntlet A castover. This time, of course, still joined by Neblime. We're going to be talking about Three Crow versus General Anakin. How you doing today, dude?
What's up? I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to finally see the mysterious GeneralAnakin. He's good at killing younglings, but Three Crow ain't no youngling, man.
That's right. Yeah, if you just look at the kinds of people that he's dismissed, though, another person who ain't so young that General Anakin has bested is actually Biddy B, 2-0, earlier in the lower bracket.
True, that's very impressive, actually, for someone we'd never even sort of heard of coming through tournaments before. Also, he, handled Luciferius pretty easily. He got the 2-0 against Benza. So I don't think he dropped a single game except against Three Crow, right?
That's right, yeah. And I like to point this out too, but Three Crow and General Anakin played a best of 5 for their first match mistakenly, and General Anakin did take a game in that.
Oh.
So it was technically it was 3-1 by their standards. It's just for tournament records we only show it as a best of 3. So they mistakenly ended up playing a best of 5. We only recorded the best of 3 results, but so it looks a little bit better than the 2-0 result that Three Crow posted in that respect, right? A little bit better for General Anakin.
I would be really excited to just see someone we'd like, oh, who's General Anakin, just like qualify. I mean, yeah. Three Crow being in there would be pretty hype as well.
That's right. He has his strats, he has his tactics, and he certainly has the recipe for improvement, particularly after the tough 0-3 loss to Newt in the upper bracket. That's what qualified Newt over to the tournament, and that's what we see Three Crow in the lower bracket for. So that means that this is a do or die match. That's where whoever loses is out of contention, has to go in to sign up for Gauntlet B if they want to stick it out. And otherwise, well, we'll have to see what Three Crow can do. And funnily enough, Three Crow, another player just like Jack, who signed up for Gauntlet B before their lower qualification match had been played, maybe even before the upper one had been played. So, it's just covering their bases in case they don't make it, I guess.
Now that we know that Newt and AOT qualified, Gauntlet B doesn't look as bad. Gauntlet B looks a lot more doable now that those two are out,
That's fair.
If Newt somehow didn't qualify, it'd be like, oh, well, only one of 2 slots is now available for Gauntlet B,
That's right. So, hey, we do have the pick ban ahead of us. We obviously see Axiom as the starter selected by General Anakin, as he is the lower seed going into things. And you're right, he is somebody who we don't actually know that much about. I did cast the Three Crow versus General Anakin series, so I do know a little bit about some of his weaknesses, but I haven't seen the 2-0 versus Biddy B. I don't know how he's improved in the matchup. Remember, both of those scalps taken, those were Protosses. So having a little bit of experience there, and I think maybe he'll be showing improvement as we go into the lower qualification.
And I would have said Biddy B and Three Crow play fairly similarly, actually. So if you can 2-0 Biddy B, you can probably take Three Crow. Let's see.
Let's get started. We're going on to Axiom as mentioned, and it will be Three Crow in the top right, General Anakin in the bottom left.
All right, of course, the best possible map pick to start with. So General Anakin banning Fata Morgana, I think it's, again, it's just a matter of if you feel like you don't want to get surprised or lose to the unexpected.
Yeah, that was a map that Three Crow actually took against him earlier in their series, so, a little bit of history on it.
Now, you know more than me, because like I say, I've never seen General Anakin, so I don't know what exactly he's pulling out here. Would you say he's more of like a macro/defensive player like Jack Langsky we saw in the last series, or he's more of like an aggressive player or a cheese player? What do you think?
Well, his 2-0 versus Benza was just 3-gate Legionnaire pushes, so those games were over in like 5 minutes apiece. It wasn't very competitive. So he does have that angle to him, and he has been practicing a lot of the mid-game pushes. Versus Terran, it's a little bit sad that we're not going to see his versus Terran in the Gauntlet, because that's obviously where he's practiced the most. He's the childhood friend of the Beavers, so that's where the expectations come in, where like, okay, apparently he's beating the Beaver. And you said yourself, for Benno to almost lose to the Beaver earlier on in the qualification, it looks a little bit better after you played against him, because apparently he's massively improved. So,
Beaver is actually not bad at all now. Last Ascension, I remember I predicted he would do better than he did, so I was a little bit disappointed. But in this Acropolis Gauntlet, he'd been playing quite well. So
I think it's one of those situations where just playing against General Anakin over and over and over again has given him a good understanding of versus Protoss, but also just like a little bit higher level of play. I think that's my prediction, right? So,
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no secret to improving, man. You just got to get out there and play the game a lot.
That's right.
So, if you have a practice partner, all the better.
Yeah, fair enough.
Violence.
Yeah, Scribe Violence. We got double Gateway over here and a Warden. Of course, there's a Warden for 3 Crow.
Yeah, I don't like it, though, because he's just sort of setting himself behind. You know, Anakin over here happily is going to get a 3rd gate. Oh, doesn't lose the Scribe, though. Which I think is just much better. It's going to let you actually get out on the map with more and more Legionnaires there. And as we've seen, Legionnaires are perfectly good in PvP. They can end games pretty fast. And even, I would say, Warden's not very good against them. You know, 1 Warden will probably beat 2 Legionnaires, but in general, I don't think it's a very cost-effective option. Oh, he cancels it. Okay. Now we're talking.
Okay, interesting. Well, there was a potential for a rescout from GeneralAnakin, but he was just using his Scribe to zone away 3 Crows. That could be compelling to me if he's able to leverage the response into something else. But looking at this 3-gate, he scouts it. He cancels the Warden after already making the decision, so he's not going to have all the money. He goes straight into a Rogue Gallery. I still think he's on thin ice. I think GeneralAnakin can walk across the map with the next rotation of units.
Well, what he needs is like SimCity / choke point / anything to block all these melee units getting in and killing him. I feel like Purifiers just like dollar for dollar are just better than Dracodons. Oh, I said it, didn't I? Legionnaires, sorry, are better dollar for dollar than Dracodons. But the Dracodons can scale better because they will deny surface area the more and more Dracodons you have. Now, I think it'll be Charlatans coming out here. Barghest would be decent against Zealots for sure, but not much use against Legionnaires.
Interesting. We have an embassy coming out for GeneralAnakin, so he wants to pad his economy. I guess he's not going to be going for
Charlatans again too. These Charlatans and Purifiers and Vagrants is what I meant.
Oh, you see, I see. You're cycling through them all.
Charlatans would be quite good against Purifiers, though. We have a bunch of stuff to tie. I said it again. Against Legionnaires. Oh my god. This cast isn't going to be about the game, by the way. It's going to be about me versus words.
That's right.
I think Charlatans would be quite good against this Protoss melee, though, because, you know, you can put the hallucinated all of them in a bunch of Dracodons or whatever, do the damage.
Well, it's kind of weird that GeneralAnakin has gone for the embassy as a follow-up to his 3-gate, because he's going to have a great army, but then he's also going to have economy, since he's making scribes out of it, so it's curious. You know, he will have the worker advantage. 3 Crows kept up so far, but that's not going to be the case anymore, and the army's moving out. So he's kind of like middle of the road as a build, and 3 Crow, meanwhile, not expanding, not looking to pad his economy, and he is going to get overwhelmed over here in the middle of the map.
Well, I think, yeah, Anakin just took the superior army for sure. 3 Crow kind of screwing up, not pulling back quicker, I think. And now he's probably going to lose more of these. Oh, the Hierophant is huge here. Oh my god.
Yeah, preemptively targeting that back Dracodon too. Yeah, that's really good.
Really nice moves from Anakin, and really inspired choice to just get the 1 Hierophant as well.
Yeah, I would say so. Now going into straight Zealot production here. We do have a Vagrant after all. Rogue Gallery.
Yeah, so I don't think he can kill him here. Interesting buildings coming up, by the way. But Anakin can just expand, deny his expand for a while, and be in a pretty good position. Now, Stargate coming up, and I believe I saw a lattice. Did he cancel the lattice just now?
Nope, it's still there. Warden started, but I think it's a little bit too late. The Vagrants are getting focused down now. That one is going to end up dying because it's already been expired. So this push has legs.
Really hard on the micro here. I'm impressed.
He's going to have to fall away now, but he's done some management of the units here, which is really good. And he keeps the Hierophant alive for the debuffs. 3 Crow might be a little over... Yeah, he's a little overzealous here. He's going to end up
using the Hierophant out of there! Ooh, okay. Can the Vagrant catch it? I don't think it quite can. Yeah, Hierophant's pretty fast.
Oh, there we go. It is going to end up falling, but the Zealots are here for reinforcements. And just ignoring that Vagrant. Great showing here for GeneralAnakin.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm really impressed for like a tier 2 player. Supposedly, his micro is really top notch here, and again the unit choice as well. Now we can see the macro slipped a bit at home. He got up to like 700 minerals, I think, but he's gotten back into gear now. The expansion's coming up, still maintaining a solid advantage here. Now Stargate of his own coming up. Now, if your opponent's massing, say like Gladius or even Exemplar, is it better to get Ladder Effect or get like Panoptus? I wonder. But it is Aurora for now, which is not something we see often.
No, yeah, we don't see the Auroras too often. I do think there are timing openings, specifically versus Zerg, where you can go for like Aurora into... You use their AoE on death effect and stuff to see if you can slap down a couple of the splash units. So that's pretty much one of the only situations that you'll see them used, that I've seen them used anyway, in actual player versus player matches. And even then, it's very rare, as you mentioned, so...
Well, Shambler pointed out that the Aurora is an okay unit, but the problem is Stargate costs a lot to build it. And if you built a Stargate already, why not just get a Gladius? Like, there's not many situations, or any maybe, where an Aurora is actually going to be a better unit. But we'll see what Anakin plans here. I think Gladius would be reasonably effective against anything that comes out of the Stargate. But But I don't know. I guess Auroras would get some decent suicides on them sometimes.
Yeah, the Panoptis would be the best choice versus the Gladius if you can get to them before the stack hits too high. Zealot's taking a little bit of hits here, but nothing breaching their hull just yet.
Single sim, just for, you know, I don't know, bonus value.
Just for joy, yeah.
Barghest coming out as well, which, you know, the number of Zealots on the field I think is very important. I do question the Cabalists, I'm not really sure what benefit that's going to give him, but it looks like 3Co's just planning for a big air harassment here. And I don't know if Anakin's going to be any the wiser. We don't see a witness coming out, which is a big mistake, honestly, given how early he got that embassy. I didn't see much defenses back here. He can keep the pressure on a little bit, but I feel like 3Co's going to fly in and kill all the workers, probably.
Well, here's a bit of a concern. He's actually used many of his Zealots and Drakidans to scout out for macro, like little hidden bases, which is a good play, but it means that his army is under strength, and so now if he goes for a counterattack when the air pops out, that could be pretty bad. Now, at the same token, if those Drakidans stay in their general vicinity, he's hunting for the artisans, but there are none.
Yeah, good move. But yeah, you have a good point there. If he happens to run into them, and that'll alert Anakin, but I feel like Anakin needs a fair bit of time to prepare. Making a Panoptis against this composition is actually not going to do very good at all. Oh, he's going to come in and kill the army, actually. Okay. Our offense can try and get themselves out of this, but he's going to take losses for sure.
Yep, he's withdrawing for home. The other units on the side seem to have lost their any attempted sort of control grouping or anything like that. The Hierophants are the main sticking point that 3Cro's trying to pop. He will get one of them.
Where's those guys going? Okay, they're still going down. Yeah, and there's a lot of Legionnaires coming out as well. I don't see... Is there any Wardens at the natural here? The Panoptis must be finished. I hear a Cabalist attacking something.
Yep, it's just been chasing down the Zealots and such. Now, can the hold come through? We don't have any land effects or anything for the crowd control.
Oh, no.
Single Panoptis is here. Those Wardens. Yeah, the Wardens are not going to even get canceled. Not that it would matter too much. And 3Cro floating a lot of money. 2 Panoptises spawn out, but I don't think it's going to be nearly enough. The Barghests providing plenty of armor penetration for the Vassal. That's going to be a sudden swing. And 3Cro, he ends up taking the game.
GG. Well, pretty good strategy from 3Cro here to build up that sudden air army. And, you know, like I said, I think it's a huge mistake of Anakin not to get a witness there. One witness, he flies in, see what's going on, just go back, build your Wardens, and you'll be golden, because he was way ahead in economy. It does kind of look like 3Cro just, like, suddenly kind of snapped his neck, but you've got to say, if 3Cro did not kill him, he was pretty screwed.
Yeah, he stuck it out on one base for a very long amount of time, and it feels like General Anakin definitely had the advantage. All the way up until the point where he lost, he was basically ahead, and that was really quite surprising to see such a swing there. But 3Cro will get on the board, and that means we go to map number 2. Of course, also going to be selected by General Anakin, and it's going to be Impetus.
All right, another sort of straight up macro map.
Yeah, 3Cro in the top right, General Anakin in the bottom left once again. Paths are a little bit wider, a little bit longer than on Axiom. Rush distance a bit higher, so we might see a little bit more of a passive opener from General Anakin. It felt like his 3-gate opener wasn't really leveraged until after he put down the embassy, which cuts into your ability to make, you know, more aggressive decisions with your spending early on. So that was a little puzzling, but nonetheless, General Anakin can shake that off. He still has time. Yeah,
well, we'll see if the openings shake out the same. You know, the 3-gate seemed pretty solid. I think it was definitely a good spot to kind of just deny expansion. Took a really good fight as well. But I'd like to see him sort of know when he needs to go back. And, you know, like you said, all the units out on the map, I wonder if they would have made a difference if they all fought together with the army. Maybe he would have been able to barely hold. Who knows? Also, I wonder if he got, like, a Gladius out, would it have been better there?
Yeah, the other thing, as soon as you see the Aurora Vassal Barghest combo there, one of the things that you got to watch out for is like, okay, my opponent's probably going to sit there and, you know, stack up all of his air. Especially 3Cro has a sort of a bad habit of not really splitting his air army versus splash. But there is no splash out of the gateway. And you have a Stargate, so you actually have 2 Stargates. You could go 2 Stargate land effect, like you're, you know, StarCraft 1 doing a lot of like Corsairs versus Zerg, the Muta push or whatever, that sort of matchup in PvZ. That feels like something that he could have opted for there, just so that he could shut down that air threat. With 3 land effects, I think that whole fight is completely different, mostly because one of them can also do the disruption.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point as well. That would have been huge. But look, there's so many possible things that could have happened.
Yes.
Which I think is just all the more reason that if you fly a witness in your opponent's base and know exactly what they're doing,
scouting very important really for sure.
Advantage.
General Anakin will be the one to do it. 3Cro not interested in sending a scout across the map. He has his 2-gate opener. A pylon back in the main. And we are set up for that 3-gate opener yet again. This SimCity tells me anyway that General Anakin's thinking about dropping a 3rd. Already got some gas, though, so maybe he's going to pivot away from that. No, faster embassy this time.
Oh, that scribe definitely going to go down.
That's right.
Still sees Draken. So, I mean, so far this kind of looks similar to last game. I mean, obviously with the embassy coming up here, not going to be doing the same fully aggressive play, but, well, okay, I take it back, just a little delayed.
Yeah, so the order of the build is different, but the actual assets acquired are the same.
All right, well, he's getting more zealots out here. Now, I wonder, again, money for money, does zealots win against legionnaires? I'm not quite sure.
There's a point at which the legionnaires overwhelm the zealots because they can get...
They start on the top?
Yeah, the way that it works. Unless you get like really tightly packed, then the zealots will win pretty handily, but...
Right. Well, I guess that's the thing about legionnaires, right? Yeah. They kind of need surface area.
But they can get it pretty easy.
Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. Sometimes they will actually teleport to their own disadvantage, but it really depends.
Yeah, my favorite is when somebody was using mass legionnaires and I built an Acantor. You can imagine the carnage.
Oh my god!
On top of the
Scarabs. Like when it lands in your mineral line and you're like, oh god, workers try and kill it, but they just like go into the kill zone.
I'll never forget when Mesk did that legendary play, and he just somebody unloaded. It might have been 3-Crow actually unloaded in a Cantor in his worker line, and he just decollided it with the workers.
How did that end?
He didn't. He killed it with workers. It was like
really,
yeah. It was very surprising.
Oh, that's like hair-raising stuff.
I know. Yeah, it was like 40 workers in the one base.
Oh my god.
Well, listen, he learned from his mistakes. Witness on the way will spot the 2 rogue galleries, as well as this move out from 3-Crow across the map. Plenty here to accept it, so...
He needs to get the zealots in the front line, though. This is going to be a bit hairy to hold on to, but he will see it coming. The Witness will cross the army there.
Yep, that's right.
I guess these armies are pretty comparable, actually. Should be fine. Don't want to lose that Hierophant too easily, though.
No, but the Hierophant will add a lot of value as this game goes on, where as the engagements continue. He's actually going to charge down the map.
Worst moment. Well, maybe it catches 3-Crow off guard, though. I mean, oh, nice micro. Pulling back that Zealot. Really nice work there.
Yeah.
Wow, he's slaughtering him. Again, really nice micro from GeneralAnakin. I
love
think he
that.
lost a single unit.
Yeah, attacking the top Draconin as well, just so that he can guarantee there's going to be a single survivor for 3-Crow. Definitely off to a nice start. Now, we do have Vagrants being produced here. GeneralAnakin does have a lot of minerals in the bank. Could go for an expansion. All of his production is dark right now, so we are seeing a little bit of the weakness. But so far, decision-making with the right clicks, that has been real good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look, you can say like, you know, maybe you should focus more on macro or not, but you know, if you get value from micro, it's fine to have a sort of split of priorities here. Now, you got to be careful with the decision making, though, right? He can see what's there with the Witness. I really don't think you want to camp here. Those Vagrants will do plenty of damage.
That's right. Yeah.
He does pull back. Very nice. Although, again, the Barcus does seem like a good option with all these Zealots running around. And as we saw against the Wardens, it was very effective as well.
Yeah, fair dues there. Making sure that the armor is no longer an issue. Now, you do get disproportionate value with something like that when you're dealing with units that don't have any or much armor pen, right? So that's where, you know, we don't see the lattice, we don't see vassals coming out. It's more Vagrants. 3-Crow does have this thing where he, you know, I feel like this happens. I used to do this too. You don't want to queue up just one unit. You want to queue up 2 units. So you wait for the money to queue up 2 instead of just queuing them up individually. that does tend to plague people. Yeah, like it's more aesthetically pleasing to be like, yes, I hit the button, and they both started.
Well, you know, macro-wise, I can't criticize too much. I think they're doing fine spending their money. Although, generally, I could probably get a start in Atreus, or maybe a Cantavis in a minute.
That's right.
I wonder. Finished. Yeah, I wonder if you put Hallucination, if the Zealots would be effective here, but I don't know. I don't think this army's sort of too mobile to really suffer from Cantavis too much. And you can kite these Zealots all day, yeah.
Especially with the Hierophant's edition. That's going to be a good choice for 3-Crow here. Some reinforcements streaming on in. Draconin's not on attack move initially, so one of them falls almost immediately. Hey, these Vagrants can be focused down. It's still a valuable target because they added so much DPS when they're turn into their shade form. Now, no micro at all for 3-Crow. He was really just letting his army do its thing, and he really ran the risk of losing Hierophants there, but instead he's going to start to pick off the extremities. Unfortunately, one Hierophant tags another.
Yeah. Again, I need to memorize what Tassadar's saying, you know, when you play the PvP mission, like, I can't stand to see my brothers tearing each other apart or something. Yeah. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, that's right. Enough! Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, I don't know. GeneralAnakin's kind of getting the best of this when I feel like he probably shouldn't have even tried it. But like you say, Kuko didn't micro that much, and now he's pushed back in. I wonder if he could cancel that Nexus. That would be devastating. You know, it's funny because this map looks kind of similar, and this game looks kind of similar to the first one. It's like, are we just trying?
Oh, he didn't cancel it.
Ooh, and 3Crow does not have that much money. That's pretty huge.
Zealot's moving
Now,
on in. Remember, the witness
the
has
Grand
spied on
Library,
this
I
the whole
believe,
time.
Has still done nothing. Okay.
Amaranths.
Oh, he made some Amaranths. Really wish he'd bring them in the fight, because in these small-scale early game fights, they will be huge.
That's right. Now this Dragon is going to get picked apart here. There's still one Hierophant for abusing the retreats. Instead, it's going to be the Vagrants that get the bulk of the attention from the Zealots. Now it's switching gears and trying to attack the Hierophant. Focus fire on the Dracodons wasn't ideal for GeneralAnakin, so he will end up losing this fight a lot more handily, but he might still be able to get a little bit of damage here at the end.
You know, I don't mind this for GeneralAnakin, because he knows he has superior economy here, although not that many scribes, will have better situation. So I think trading is alright, but yeah, it could have been better.
Yeah, his Nexus is nearly complete. Here, he'll have 3 worker queues. We don't see an embassy coming out for 3Crow. He's sticking to the script of sort of like Strider with Vagrant support, not really using any melee, and that has actually been his undoing for a little bit. With the Amaranths on the field, it does feel like, you know, especially if you chain them with like a single Herald or something, you could get a lot of value, but losing all the Striders that GeneralAnakin did have built up means that he's not going to have the same punchiness versus all these ranged units that 3Crow has.
There's a few things to consider here. I mean, the Vagrants have the DPS to deal with the Amaranths quite well, I think, but the Draconids do not. Yes. They're sort of more bursty. But also, even though GeneralAnakin got the embassy, he still was almost even on scribes until a minute ago. So I think Rico really just managed to kind of manage it better, whereas GeneralAnakin invested resources to sort of do the same thing, which I think is not to say it was a bad decision by GeneralAnakin. If you know you're going to have trouble to get production, I think it's fine to say, well, you know, I'm going to make more production queues. Just because I know I'm going to need them.
Yeah.
But it means 3Crow is not as behind as he might have been, you know, and he's going to get that Nexus up now, and his army's pretty decent here, so I think the game will go on.
Synthetic Synod, but it is spotted by the Witness. Good protocol from GeneralAnakin to constantly be striking back and forth. Demiurges
are actually surprisingly strong just for their DPS. You don't even care about controlling stuff here.
That's right.
But you need quite a considerable front line to make it worth it. Although, be quite good against Amaranths, I think, because they would just be hitting them from who knows where.
Hierophant streaming on in.
Now, how many Hierophant shots does it take for the second tier debuff?
It's 5. So
okay.
Even adding a second one is very, very useful. The Warden on the high ground could frustrate any additional attacks to siege in this base, but I do think that the Amaranths are a good choice. He's only got 4 of them so far, a 5th one arriving, so we need to see a little bit more. He's actually going pretty heavy into melee and adding 3 more gates down here at the natural. So he might be able to close this, but I do worry about what the tech disparity here is going to lead 3Crow to. That has been his sort of pièce de résistance going into all of these matches, right? It's just using the extra tech.
I know, it's happening again. The gates of hell of the natural here. People need to stop doing this. Who was doing it as Zerg? I don't remember.
It was Jack.
But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think I told him not to. I don't think he does it anymore. But I don't know. I don't think GeneralAnakin can come in here anytime. Like, it's just quite a good position where 3Crow's put his army. Never mind those Wardens. So I think the game has to go to 3 bases or some more tech, and we see the Stargate for GeneralAnakin. He thought,
yeah, 2 of them. Adding 2 of them over here to the left of his natural. Yeah, okay, we like this. Yeah. We like this. Now, the question is, what is it going to be, right? Because he's scouting around. He's going to see that there's a Demiurge being made whenever he moves his Witness back over there. So, you know, Exemplar wouldn't be a bad shout versus that. If you can get a couple of them out. Yeah, Panoptises to shark in and just completely kill it.
Snipe I think you'd have to use Panoptises because Exemplars are too slow and low DPS. I feel like they're just going to get killed or controlled by the Demiurge before they do anything.
Yeah, if they survive, if you can use them to sort of siege down the Wardens and the like, the other reason why you might want to make them is because they'll really do great splash versus all the Vagrants. And the Dracodons too.
I feel like this is going to go like one of 2 ways. Either Anakin's melee just overwhelms 3Crow's army instantly, or in a prolonged fight, the Demiurges will add so much DPS he'll just destroy everything. Because quite frankly, GeneralAnakin's backline / ranged units cannot fight this army from 3Crow. He's relying entirely on the melee doing huge damage.
Well, the other thing too is that these 3 Wardens are spaced out such that they will actually be pretty good for power. And if 3Crow decides to leave his base, then that could also be pretty rough. Remember that GeneralAnakin had the economic tempo, and he is thinking about taking a 3rd, but unfortunately...
Really poor scribe production here, though.
Yeah.
Again, should have been really far ahead. Honestly, should have been like 20 workers ahead, but just has not been making them consistently.
All right, 3Crow's moving out.
This is the engagement that 3Crow wants, as all the melee's stuck in the back, and Anakin did not take a moment to realize, but that's so many Amaranths. Can he actually do anything about this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. The Legionnaires diving in, too, to try to get the surround off. Sure, you can try to go for the Demiurge, but hey, if you mass up with all those Legionnaires onto the Demiurge, that could be enough, man.
Yeah, well, most of the Legionnaires died, though. They do tend to run down pretty quickly, but the melee is doing huge damage. It looks like Rico is not going to be able to hold off here, or at least it's going to be a stalemate, which I think still favors Anakin here. Well, okay, Anakin does retreat, but he lost so much of the army, did Rico. And I feel like Anakin has a lot of production to spam out just a bunch of chaff and overwhelm this. And the Demiurge is not a unit that does crowd control. It's just sitting in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be Panoptus out at the Stargates as well. That's going to be a really big force for just sniping down the Demiurge, which is kind of
yeah, true.
Being a little bit.
I just used to thinking why are you not making Gladius as the best unit? But I guess you're right. Against Demiurge, that would actually be much better.
Yeah, the Gladiuses need the fight to go along for their value to be there, and versus Protoss units, they can be sniped. Versus Demiurge, they can be controlled. So, you know, it's playing into the win condition of the Demiurge. Well. Yeah.
Vagrants would destroy Gladius.
Yeah, consistent production here.
August,
1,000 minerals for GeneralAnakin.
Yeah.
Almost as
it's
much
better to have 1,000 minerals more than your opponent and not spend the same money as your opponent.
Are we about to see the Monument of Sin out here? Because that could be a deliberate reason.
No way. What is he doing? He's still so close. You can't just throw that down. Okay, just spend some more minerals. Oh my god, he does have the gas.
I know, that's what I'm thinking, right? Oh, he queues up a bunch of Cantavis. That's how he wants to spend his Vespene.
You know, I like that a lot more, to be honest, because he needs to win these scrappy fights.
The other reason that I would love to see, the other thing I would love to see these gateways used for, you could make 6, a single round of 6 Ecclesiasts, and suddenly your Amaranths, your Legionnaires, they stay alive forever. So
that would be OP.
That does feel like something that's a bit of a missed opportunity. They're only 50 minerals, 50 gas. So when you have even amounts of gas or superior amounts of gas, definitely going for a round of Ecclesiasts can help you out a lot, especially if you're struggling to keep your melee alive. Now, this Witness has gotten so much scouting intel. The Demiurges are spotted. There's 3 of them now, though. That could be a bit of a problem. I don't know if there's enough Panoptus here to deal with that. Only 6. We've got 2 more coming.
Yeah, a lot of Legionnaires, though. I think the Legionnaires alone are going to do a lot here. Let's see how long they last. Let's pull back with the Panoptus. Very nicely trying to keep them alive, snipe this high value units. Got to be careful, though.
Yeah.
The Demiurge are not easy prey here. And try and hit that one. And you're going to take like 4 or 5 shots, but he's starting to pick them off.
Yeah, there's not that many Panoptuses left. They all end up dying to the focus fire, but that means that the melee for GeneralAnakin is allowed to stay alive, and now 2 out of 3 Demiurges are taken out. Strider's now focused onto them. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Now. Yeah, he's actually going to wipe Anakin's army here. Uh-oh. And gain a few units in the process, or maybe for a moment anyway. Get out of there. Oh. Okay, but again, Anakin can just spam out a lot more stuff. So I feel like if he resets his army entirely once, like, is he going to put the hallucination? No? Oh, it's actually doing damage somehow. Oh, tries it. But I think he only hit his own controlled unit there.
Well, he's trying to see what he can do up here on up the ramp.
It's not doing nothing. It's not doing nothing, but it's hard to actually kill these Protoss units with this. And you know what? He's forcing him forward here, which is actually pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, there's not going to be much else here. Another Panoptus will go down.
Huge banks for both players right now.
I know, yeah. Hey, this base has 1 worker on it, so that's pretty good. Argosies are the choice.
Okay, you know, I like it more because, well, A, I just think Argosy units are better than Monument units. And B, you know, you're like, oh crap, look at all my money. Just build something. Argosy are pretty expensive, so I like it. You know, I like Ancestral a lot too. I just like a lot of units, man.
Neblime out here liking most of the units in the 150 strong roster that we got going on.
As you know, there's some I really don't like, though.
Yeah, like the, you know, like the, what was it, the Quasilisk, I think was one.
Never make those. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah, I was telling Intrinsic Ramen, don't make Madcaps are really bad, you know?
I did see that. Dude, that guy might be a contender. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Well, you know what happened? We played a couple games and he asked me, like, oh, you know, what should I do here? What units should I make? Etc. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, make Madcaps and this and that. And then he won the next game. I'm like, oh, shit. I shouldn't have told him that. You know,
it's working out. Hey, top left being taken by 3 Crow. Not interested in that 11 o'clock position. So, a bit curious.
A lot of money again. What did he just make? He spent 1,000 minerals. I guess he queued up a bunch of zealots.
Yeah, like. 6 zealots and I guess a witness and a scribe.
3 Crow's production. Now, though,
yeah, 3 Crow's production has definitely been superior for a little bit now. So I guess we're seeing some of the opportunities that you'll have versus GeneralAnakin in general as a player, right? If you're thinking about it, like the mid game is a little bit of a sag point for him. It seems. Second witness will come.
I would say from what we've seen, don't let him. Draw you in with all his fancy micro. Just stay defensive and just keep building workers and building up basic units. I think you'll win because all he's doing is building basic units. Now, look at that. It's not going to be Empyreans. It's not going to be Solarians. It's not even going to be Magisters today.
I know.
Tell us about this unit, Pronoga. We've not seen it in a casted game as far as I know. Well, at least since I joined the project.
Yeah, yeah. So that's obviously the Purifier. No, that's the epigraph.
Shut up. Oh my god.
I think it's an underutilized unit. It's much better for single target than the Empyrean is, because the Empyrean's shots can get blocked by air, which in this situation isn't that big of a deal because there aren't any air units yet for 3-Crow. In fact, the only ones he has available are
think about it.
Synod
Demiurge are going to destroy Empyreans.
Yeah, yeah, because they get the low attack rate, right? So the epigraphs do a much better single target DPS. So if you're trying to burst down people, and look at that, he's also factoring this in with land effects. He's protecting himself against the air, and he's going to be able to use the disruption field in the middle of the battle. This is playing to GeneralAnakin's strengths. He is clearly the better player when it comes to micromanagement. That's something where he's had the 3-Crow's name and number the whole time. And yeah,
that is the worst unit you could make against all these air stuff, especially if epigraphs just focus it down.
Yeah,
although
absolutely.
Land could also block it. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, man, this is going to be a hard fight to micro, though, when you're like microing your epigraphs back and forth, trying to get the disruption fields, trying to put storms or hallucinates. But I mean, Anakin has not really shown us any like limitation in micro so far. There's been no fight where I'm going like, Anakin didn't really do X, Y, Z. He should have done. Instead, he's kind of exceeded expectations every time. But this is a big army.
Yes, it is. And there's going to be 3 Demiurges once again, this time backed up by a lot more Striders, a lot more Vagrants. Still no front line here for 3-Crow. He's got absolutely nothing. He's going to use the Vagrants as the front line, it seems. Filling up the production
because minerals, after all, you might as well just spam them in there. And this thing, with their sort of second, life thing, it's effectively just more HP for tanking, right?
Yeah. Pretty good multi-purpose unit.
Anakin needs to position his army out on the map more, though. It's because he has this third base out here. 3-Crow could fairly easily just run in, kill the third base, and run back. Or if he takes the fight in that tricky location, I don't know if it's better or worse for 3-Crow, but I think it's better because Anakin has a lot of zealots.
That's right. And hey, here's another little point. A little bit of veterancy. 3-Crow capping geysers, main, natural. Nice. His distant base, not yet, but is taking a 4th, and that's actually before GeneralAnakin takes his.
Well, I mean, Anakin can't really even cap gas because he doesn't have enough workers to make that worthwhile, to be honest.
Yeah, so he's still very low over here in the mineral department.
Yeah. It's not really like a knowledge failure. It's more of a mechanics failure. It just doesn't have the economy. Wait, is that Anakin's witness with 3-Crow's army this whole time?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3-Crow's because it just moves with it. Like, I'm part of the army. That's pretty huge, actually. And he will be able to move out from the natural in time as long as he's looking at that. Defend his 30s. I like that move because it's very important to know where your opponent's army is.
Yeah, more and more witnesses scouting around. You'll see them move through the middle.
He needs to get out of his natural, man. He's going to get slaughtered if he's stuck in here.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, we do have a pretty big fleet, though. He's built up almost 10 epigraphs.
See, when you get that many, you should just start making Magisters, I think.
Yeah.
Because they would really help out here. The Magisters will die, but like before they do, they'll get a lot of epigraphs.
Well, also think about it, right? The weapon range of the epigraph is 8. You get +2. Yeah. You're starting to deal the same amount of... You're actually outranging the Demiurge at that point. Like, that's pretty big deal right there.
Well, you know what? If 3-Crow plays into Anakin's hands, tries to come into the natural, the storms will be huge, but I feel like 3-Crow can easily just like go and kill the bases and just keep expanding himself. And he has taken... Oh, here we go! The Protoss Hearing Hazard has been activated.
That's right. It's like there's the Dilettante for Terrans, right? That's the one I want.
You need to get that uptake on somehow, but it's so safe in the back there. Always going to get it. You can keep shooting a little longer, don't control it fast, but this is what I was right about. That base is dead.
Yeah, pretty much. He needs to bring out his
not really even doing anything about it. Well, is it dead? Is he going to steal it? I mean, there's no real point doing that.
Hey, you know what? You can start to use it for yourself.
Yeah, then they come out and kill your Demiurge. You're like, damn, I guess I should have killed that expansion. Now he has it back. But yeah, there it goes. It's all gone. Tetron's going to be hugely effective in this choke.
Okay, he's not bringing in the epigraphs with this, and the land effect's going to go ahead for the disruption.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing something, but they get picked off fairly quickly, and the epigraphs are not here to fight. Okay, they're just coming in now, I think. Oh, no, that's only one.
Massing up,
All the zealots are gone already.
I know, yeah. All of them ended up getting killed because of that engagement. A little bit awkward on the spacing before the fight actually takes place. And the fact that the Hierophant stayed alive for so long, that actually allowed a lot more value to be given.
Yeah, I mean, 3-Crow still can't break this, but Anakin's not looking too good here. He's back on 2 base, whereas 3-Crow's on 4. The epigraph are a problem, though. I don't know if 3-Crow actually has any way of dealing with those right now.
He's up to 12, yeah. That's a pretty meaty amount.
I mean, what ancestral unit would you even make? I don't think Patriarch really have the range.
Not really, no.
Or the DPS, even. So... Oh, does lose one, though.
I'm not even sure what the option is. I mean, Empress any good? Probably not. You need a lot of them.
No, I think you would need to start pivoting over into like maybe a different sort of tech. If you were going to try to deal with
loses his entire army, and Anakin just comes across, he could just end the game. So Rico needs to be really careful here, especially with their Teflons. Are they going to die? Oh, he took the gateway. No, don't kill it. It's a friend. Okay, good. It survives.
It's all back.
But it almost got betrayed. Oh man, he's going to kill this army if he keeps fighting. I don't think he can survive. But he retreats. Again, I'd really like to see some Magisters, you know? Yeah, sharpens. Like, Vagrants keep doing that and not going to do anything.
Hardly not. No, if the epigraphs give chase, they can actually outrun the demiurges, mostly because they're getting body blocked by the Uptectons right now.
I mean, getting the Uptectons alone would be huge. It looks like he's going to go on the offensive now. That base in a lot of danger.
I still like with the Cantavises over here and reinforcement epigraphs being made at the Argosy. I still think General Anakin can hold any would-be counterattack.
Definitely.
Archon, more demiurges.
Well, the thing is, the Cantavis has been very effective at defending his natural, but the problem is Anakin is putting himself in a situation where winning the game is going to be very difficult when all you're doing is defending your natural. You know, you've got to defend more space than that to get the money. But hey, nice pick off here, putting Threeko back to 3 bases. And he does have that hidden base of his own, so he can sort of catch up in Akoma here. Threeko a lot of workers, though.
I know, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, easily crushing those knees. Be careful, this army is formidable. Archons actually seem decent if they can get under the epigraphs. If they're not on dead ground, the Archons will just run in and they're very tanky.
You know what would be a great option here? It looks like it's going to be Stargate for Mass Panoptis, and that's going to be the answer. That's fine. It's a pretty expensive one. It just came to me. The Prostration stage has that unit that we almost never see, the Potentate, and it has really strong single target damage from range.
Okay, a really funky looking one, yeah.
Yeah, and they can fire off like a ridiculous amount of damage. I've seen them counter like Solarians before. Like they are a pretty good PvP unit.
Okay, well look, I have seen it in a game, but disclaimer, I have no idea what it actually does. What does it do? Does it just do damage?
It does damage, and if you attack in melee with it, because it has a melee attack that's conditional on range, it'll automatically start buffing your units with attack rate. So,
hey, look at this nice move from Anakin. The Witness is giving him vision, really paying off here.
Yeah, he sees where the army is too, so he's got plenty of coverage over here.
Well, it is Patriarchs, you know, but we'll see how those work out. I feel like if you have like 20 of them, maybe, but that's very expensive.
Yeah, no kidding. Only a couple of Wardens over here. This is like a campaign base or something.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Yeah. Very like pleasing setup Rico has with how he puts those Wardens. Oh no, Scribes.
Yeah, the Nexus. Yeah, they're still going to get a couple out, but there's no splash over here. So most of them will survive.
Splash. Would be good if he added the Empyreans now. You know what? He has a lot of gas. A few Didacs would be huge.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, if you just have one in the base, for example, and you can recall if you get in trouble, that could be huge.
Wasn't this something? Yeah, didn't you mentioned that as like a thing? I can't. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Don't reveal the secrets.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm just saying, epigraph are kind of slow. If they get in trouble, you want a way to get them out.
For sure, yeah, having the little uplink station almost that you manually set up. You know, it's obviously like for me. Look at all these Panoptises.
I know.
I think. You know, you talk about mechanics like that or like plans like that, and if it became like a meta thing, just sort of like Lundier's ridiculous play with static defense only, if that became like a meta thing, I think that would be really cool in a sense, because it's like, oh, you can do this like the thematics of doing it are pretty on point. I feel like, you know, it's a very different sort of way to play the game, but it's possible. And like your comment about the Vagrants being good for tanking and stuff. It's not necessarily their intended role, but like thematically, they're supposed to be these like sentenced units that you just get rid of. Sort of like the soldiers in the stockade that are criminals or whatever. You throw the Mavericks at them. It's like the Protoss equivalent of that. It's like these people have betrayed the people. Yeah. So that's why I asked the
question.
Yeah.
Well, again,
you know,
I got to ask lore-wise, how like crime-ridden are these societies that they've got like so many? They're just like sending them in like fodder. Like, damn, they're not doing too well.
I know, yeah. Well, no, they're doing great because all of the criminals are on the.
Okay.
You know, any thought?
That's criminals. A lot of Panoptis, but they have no splash. So theoretically, the epigraphs scale better, right? And like the cost isn't even that much in the advantage of the Panoptis, is it?
Solarian's coming out too. That would be a great choice in theory.
Actually, that'd be huge because they distract the Panoptis pretty well.
Yeah. He's trying to kill this Witness with his own. He's moving across it with his whole army.
Oh,
hey! Finally dead.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's been, for the last 20 minutes, that's been a thing that General Anakin has used, so.
Can you friendly fire with Patriarchs to do that? Would that work?
It does deal splash, so yeah, it would.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
thought.
Or
outcomes or whatever.
It's the classic brood war tactic.
Listen,
Well,
remember
the thing
before?
is-
Oh, were you even playing the game before back then? There was a period of time where standing on a burrowed unit didn't actually reveal it.
What? No, I definitely wasn't, because the first day I was playing is when the Killers drop
Oh,
killed
yeah,
me, and
that's
I remember you
right.
saying on the cast, like, oh, he doesn't know, he can just stand on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So definitely was in. Damn, how did people stop the Lakislisk opener? Did they just die?
They didn't really. The Lakislisk wasn't really used as an opener. What was used instead was you would burrow your Zerg worker and nobody would be able to kill it. So the Shambler was much
just
better.
put it on
obviously.
their production.
Yeah.
But could you still build buildings on top of it?
Yeah, you could do that and force it up. That was the way to do it if you didn't have a Huracan.
Ooh, this is huge. If Anakin kills the production, 3-Crow is really screwed here. Because both of them still only really on 2 bases. Anakin with that hidden base, not even going to go for the pile, going straight for the Kinetic Signer. It's going to take like 3 volleys and it's gone. Okay, maybe 4 volleys.
Well, I don't know. This is pretty legit. He should just kill the Warden and be done with it. 3-Crow's withdrawing his whole army. This is not looking too good.
Ooh, that's a lot of gas lost, right? Now, he doesn't know Stargate's really important. You know, I wonder if the Panoptus could have come over and engaged here.
I know, yeah, there's so many of them. He just doesn't want to show his hand just yet.
Well, he's getting the Nexus. That's quite good, but he needs to be careful not to overextend here. Okay, let's pull back. Ooh, what does he? Just when you think it's over. Oh, Demiurge.
So many Drakidans.
Oh my god, this is huge damage. Where are the Panoptus? Okay, he needs to get out
They
of
come
here
in
now.
from the bottom. The sandwich is
he's-
in, and that's way too many Panoptises here. Epigraph fleet gonna be history. And look at the money.
Anakin-
Look at what General Anakin could have
overextended
done
there.
during this time, you know?
Yeah.
He queues
Well,
up
he did
4
damage.
Solarians. Like, that's not going to
Wow.
be enough, man. You definitely need something else. There's nothing to
I
fight.
mean, I don't know. Look, I don't know. I think Anakin's still in this because he's removed the best production his opponent has. He has this third base, the little scribes as it may have, and he's still got a decent army at home. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the initiative was with 3-Crow, but we're still in kind of an even situation actually. Obviously, Anakin was way better off before he lost all those. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it just feels like that with what, 24 and counting on the count of the Panoptus, it doesn't seem winnable, you know? This bottom right base hasn't been found yet.
This is why I want to see Empyreans, right? Empyreans would destroy that if there's a high number of them.
That's
But,
right,
it's
that's
more
right.
Solarians. People got to stop sleeping on Empyreans, man. They're really good.
I know. You could theoretically use Empyreans just for the... oh, I'm not sure what... oh, he's trying to free some of his unit.
Yeah. I tell you, man, the gates of hell over there are not helping.
Is that the main reason you advise people not to build that?
Well, the first reason is because really you one of them off on one side.
Right, yeah.
Like, they don't support each other. And yeah, the second reason is you don't want to choke your natural unless you're doing it for defense. But the problem is, if you put the defenses themselves as part of the choke, your opponent just kills them, doesn't care. It's better if you put, like, gateways or whatever, because then your opponent doesn't want to be shooting that. They'd rather be shooting the cannons, and then they get stuck trying to get past them. Right, Beer Gun be coming down here. He didn't find bottom right, did he? Oh,
I
he's
don't
got his own
think so.
witness,
The witness over here is just going to see all of
Here
the...
is the Legion.
Yeah.
They're ready. Oh, man, they're going to get annihilated, though, by...
Look at
Fuka's army.
the Tectons, the Patriarchs, all the splash there, the one Archon as well.
The best thing to do would be just, like, run them to 3-Crow's main. Doesn't even engage all at once.
I know,
The
yeah.
first wave, now the second wave, and the sort of third wave.
Yeah, it's a little too much here. But
It's
meanwhile...
like, you know, World War One. Oh, hang on, he's coming in here with the Panoptus.
He's depowered everything.
Trying. Yeah, very nice move there. Going to get some strides as well. Meanwhile, the ground army catching in. Where are the Contavis? Scores are very good here, but Anakin's distracted. Oh, the epigraphs though. I think he's going to clean up these Panoptus. Or is he? I have to say.
I'm not
Needs
so
to see some
sure.
storms here.
I'm not so sure. Okay, it looks like maybe it's going his way. All of the scribes in the main are dead. Anakin holding on. 5k in the bank, so the money doesn't necessarily matter, but he has no way to spend it with all these unpowered
This isn't a game
units.
of economy, man.
Yeah.
This is a game of brutality. Protoss on Protoss.
That's right.
Contavis was sleeping. They're too busy meditating or something.
Yeah. Trying to get that energy. Taking a nap.
Oh man. He's just surging in here. The epigraph's still fighting.
That's,
They're going to do their best to hold out here. The
I think at
Solarian
this
in there
point it's more
somewhere.
of a dirt nap than anything. They're basically dead. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Tectons
Okay.
finishing him
I
off.
know, he's surging up the ramp here. It's kind of awkward. You put the power back down and get a couple more Solarians out. That'd be huge. Demiurge is still doing great damage from the back. The Tectons trying to pretend they're useful, but they're really not. Vagrants, though, alone is doing a lot. Man. Look at that. He's got his own Solarian now. What
There
are you
we
gonna do
go.
now?
I'll take that. I'll take the Argosy too.
He's moving in. I
No-
thought he
no
was
power
like
for it,
I
but,
was
you know.
typing GG for a second, but no, he's getting slaughtered.
That's too bad. General Anakin really I thought for sure he'd be able to get into the game here, but it looks like it's going to be a 2-0 start for 3-Crow. He's on qualification point after all.
Well, you were right about those Panoptus. You and 3Crow were right. They were very strong there. I didn't think they'd be that good against the Epigraph, but they really were.
Yeah, it's just there's so much damage density and the movement speed. You can just focus fire everything so much easier because the attack rate as well is a lot higher. So it's hard to hold them at bay. You do want to maybe, like, if the Cantavis came over and just dropped the hallucination on them, suddenly they'd be a lot more brittle. But unfortunately, I think a lot of things came away from GeneralAnakin there. He just kind of forgot about a lot of stuff there. So
totally unrelated, but if you kill your own vassal, does it buff your speed?
Yeah. As long as soon as it dies, it like one second later it'll pop. So.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just wondering if, you know, my favorite suggestion when you're floating minerals with Protoss, just throw down like 8 lattices. If he has a bunch of vassals with him and it's like, oh no, here come the Panoptises, he just sends them into fight and then zooms the epigraphs away. I don't know.
Well,
could be a strat.
I think I want to see stuff like that. However, 3Crow's been the only one to actually build lattices this game or the series, and we're going to Derelict for game number 3. Remember, we have GeneralAnakin against the wall. He's in the top right. 3Crow, 1 game away from battlements in the bottom left.
Yeah, pretty solid performance by 3Crow, right? Again, I was saying it's pretty hype if 3Crow gets in again, because, you know, no offense to 3Crow, but he's definitely not our highest level player, but he's been around a while. And he's had very convincing performances before in groups and stuff. So it'd be exciting to get him back in and see him play in groups against all the new, like, you know, I guess up-and-coming people. And this Gauntlet's been very cutthroat as well. So he's done well to come this far. Still, I always got to root for the underdog, though. I've got to see the upstart GeneralAnakin come.
I know. Surely it can happen here.
Even better, now that he's down 2-0, he's got to do the reverse sweep.
That's right. Shades of what you did to Mystery Meat all those eons ago now. I hope Mystery Meat comes back someday.
I'm terrified of that.
Do you still reckon he would be the best player if he was still playing now? Because we got Newt, you know, in rare form.
Yeah, a bit of time to, you know, get warmed up again. Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, interesting.
I told him I'm just going to keep his throne warm for him. I can't pretend that I own it, you know?
Ah.
I have to give it up when he shows up.
It was too bad that he couldn't defend his crown against, you know, the field. Because that Ascension 7, that would have been really hyped to see. You know, did you improve enough to smash him? You know, I thought that matchup would have been pretty good. Obviously, Hamster, and, you know, to a lesser extent, we had, like, you know, Hepsea and the Shambler as well. Signing up and shining.
Would have been good. But hey, we got a pretty good finals out of that, I would say.
I'd say so.
Of course I would say that, having won it. I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, and it went to 7 games, you know. So
yeah, you know, that like 40-minute game on the sideshow where I won, that was a pretty good game.
Yeah. 2 gates for both of our players, yeah. Interesting.
It's pretty standard. I think it's very popular to go for the Draconids here, but it's still the Legionnaires. And I think in PvP, actually, it might be slightly better. But against other races, we see double Draconin production is always pretty reasonable. Quick depower them?
No. Just gonna harass. Just gonna annoy. That's it. Ooh.
That doesn't actually do anything.
I know, but what if it did? Didn't we see this versus Newt?
If it did.
We had 150 minerals wasted from 3Crow versus Newt on Impetus or whatever it was. So
3Crow needs to stop doing this, man.
I guess the idea is that it reveals like the military or something, because it has pretty good vision range, but these units aren't going to finish by the time the pylon dies.
I was going to say, 3Crow needs to stop doing this, because like he's built cannons like not in range of his opponent as well. BDB's done that too. You'll need to just calm down on the cannon rushes and stuff unless you know what you're doing.
There you go. Shots fired at Hamster, who ended up trying to Warden Rush versus Veek and died both times. But hey, I think it's a good opener as like an idea for containment. It's just you need to be able to navigate out of that, right?
Well, I mean, that's everything in StarCraft, though. You've got to have the underlying sort of strength of macro, I think, to play your way from any situation.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, GeneralAnakin for a rare time, the only time so far in the series, being in the top right of the map. I promise not all of our maps are XY Sim with top right, bottom left spawns, but it just so happens...
Man, we've got a lot of 2-player maps in this
content. Oh, yes. Yeah. They're all 2-player maps right now. Need to get some better 4-player ones out there. All the ones that we have are just... people reject them. They say, no, they're no good. Get them out.
Well, I guess I'm to blame because I'm like railing against High Water and Victory Square and... Look, they weren't very good, all right?
The other one was Nitro Valley, and I think that one was okay, but... The
problem is the old school natural, right? On the whole, I don't mind it, for sure.
Maybe in a pinch it can be replicated. Third gate coming for 3Crow. Already 3 up for GeneralAnakin. His embassy turning out that witness, so little bit of a military advantage in theory for 3Crow, but right now it's all looking up for
here.
General Anakin as far as the Legionnaire count is concerned.
Well, yeah, he's going to destroy this army, man. You shouldn't have come here, man.
Oh, the Ecclesiast to keep all his Legionnaires alive, too. That's going to be pretty good.
Oh, wait, did he lose a single unit? Those fights keep going that way.
One single Legionnaire, that's it, yeah.
Wow, well, they are Legion, aren't they?
That's
so
right.
he's going to come across. Now, I don't think 3Crow is going to die. I think he'll have enough to hold the ramp, but now Anakin has the license to expand or do whatever he wants to do.
Is it over, Anakin? Do you have the high ground? 3Crow
well, that's the problem. 3Crow does have it, so that's going to make it tough.
Well, I don't know. He's only got 2 unfinished Wardens, and...
These units pop out in just a second. What has he got? A Zealot? A couple Dracons, is it? I can't see.
Looking at
more Zealots? Oh,
2
yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he can kill him.
I think General Anakin has lethality here.
Don't try it.
Oh, the Witness going to confirm it, too. Honestly, kill potential definitely here.
Is he going to do it? He's not going to go for it, man. He's missed his chance, I think. Those Wardens will finish. Oh, he's going to go anyway, but now it might be a bit too late.
Yeah, there's no sustain here for 3Crow, so if those Zealots end up going down, what's the front line? Legionnaires can jump straight onto the Warden, and the Ecclesiast has stayed alive this whole time, too, yeah.
Yeah, that's too big with the Ecclesiast. I think you're right that he does just win anyway. Oh my God.
See, the pylon's not unpowered.
How much shield is added, did you? Oh, he's going to kill that, and that'll be it. More reinforcements are coming as well, by the way.
I know, yeah. It's really screwing on in. The 3-gate versus 3-gate goes the way of the 3-gate, but not the 3Crow, as we will end up seeing General Anakin get up there after all, it looks like.
Brutal when the Legionnaires gets the instant teleport kill.
I know, yeah.
This is the only military he has or is going to have. The Ecclesiast looks like it's finally going to fall, or maybe not.
Not actually.
Oh, what a hero. Can you check the damage on that thing? 400. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's it. Wow, well, sometimes all you need to do is just snap your opponent's neck.
That's right.
Bring in the Legion. Desperately trying to build Wardens here.
It's not going to happen. 3Crow likes to hang on for dear life, but...
No kidding, making a double Warden. Look, the first couple Wardens I don't blame you. The fact he's making like more of it to the left, I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, you know what? Maybe he'll get one more unit trained.
That Ecclesiast can't die, man. It's so low.
I know. All right. Surely this is the point where he says GG. Oh, watch out. Watch the Ecclesiast.
Can't let that die. The hero unit.
That's right. Hey, General Anakin's on the board.
What's the name you use for a Protoss unit in Cosmonic Canon?
Like a character, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you had Terimonok, you had Furin, you had a Nyrix. That's all from the tutorial, so maybe that's it.
Yeah. I imagine they'd be, more advanced than an Ecclesiast, though. Maybe in their younger days.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things that they served up way, way early. So, all right, General Anakin on the board. We go to a game 4. Let's see what 3Crow
he's doing it. He's coming back.
Sleeve. Yeah,
and again, showing the strength with the micro there, right? He needs to play to that, I think, to win this series.
All right. On to Sideshow, which leaves the Purgatory if necessary. General Anakin in the bottom right and 3Crow in the top left.
Now, I've got to say, I don't think this favors Anakin because so far from what we've seen, if the game goes long, he's going to fall down. And as we always say, this map is pretty defensive, I think, in nature.
Pretty easy to say that, especially with regards to taking your third. You just establish a little bit of a forward base. Although, thinking about it, I feel like Protoss are the least represented race as far as making defenses by ramps. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't actually seen them take forward posts like what you do as Zerg over here, or what Shambler did in that really long Sideshow match, right? So it feels like there's not really... I don't see Protoss players building those forward posts. I guess Hepsea has done it before, but not by ramps. Usually just like out in the open.
I mean, I feel like later in the game, of course, everyone's got a lot of minerals.
Yes.
Spamming Wardens all over the map would actually be decent. And I have wondered, actually, that maybe the play is you just try and like fill the map with Sims. Just like, so anywhere your opponent might try and fly, yeah, they can kill them, but they still have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I think it would actually be a pretty good play. But that said, there's always things like Vagrants to make, as we've seen, and they're very effective. So, Protoss just needs to get the production, I feel like, and they have very good options to spend the minerals. The other two races, I feel like, well, you have Madcaps, but depending what you're up against, they can actually not be very good. They can sometimes be extremely good. Against Zerg, I think they're always good, but against Terran and Protoss, maybe not. Zerg only really has like fodder/tanking units for minerals, but Protoss, they have quite a few quite good options. It's just a matter of what production you can afford and how much you can macro it.
Now here's a bit of a missed opportunity because the shield growth is so slow for the Warden, and because the Scribe here has
Oh no.
no way. Well, I was gonna say he missed
that.
an opportunity to do some hull damage to the Warden, but yeah, this is yeah.
Guys, stop, please stop. If you do this in the group stage, the battlement stage, I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm going to be very rude. Come on, guys.
There it is. Oh no, the Warden's gonna finish too. Ah, phooey.
It's all right, man. He'll do the Purifier Strand. He doesn't have an embassy yet, but definitely going to make it. I still can't believe Hamster just showed us that as a mistake. Oh, one lonely pylon. Oh, nice. Yeah, sorry. Remind me the name. Sorry. Look, man, it's a specific tactic. I can call it what I want. All right, that's a point.
Purifier strategy.
They're purifiers if they do the hamster thing where they, shuffle up on your base.
I do really like that. Yeah, it was pretty cool that he pulled that off in a match after already posting a video about it. That's the kind of thing where I really appreciate Hamster. He clearly likes the game enough to do crazy stuff like sit in an empty lobby, an empty game, an empty map, and just practice strats. Like, that's pretty legit. Hats off to you, dude.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to win badly enough to keep them secret, does he?
No, he wants to share them. He wants people to be like,
well,
oh my
too
god.
Bad for him. Too bad for him. I guess he wants to share the championship, doesn't
he? Yeah. So far, that's been happening. Been in the second place 2 tournaments in a row. Will Acropolis #1 be different?
If people are like watching this for the first time, they're going to be contaminated by me and be like, yeah, I'm going to go in the game and build my purifiers.
Yes.
I'm too bad.
Yeah, where's the purifier unit? I don't understand. That's okay. The very first structure somebody made when the Beaver set up his family with using the new fraud launcher is had the Shambler Easter egg name on. And obviously, like, the worker, the name gets carried over to the, well, it's not necessarily obvious, but if you don't know, the name gets carried over to the building.
Yeah, so. Yeah, like you build your eye roll. It's like, all right, what's this building? A Shambler? I guess I don't have an eye roll yet. I better make one.
Yeah, exactly. So they ended up making their pool was a Shambler, so that's really funny. Yeah.
By the way, that's the biggest Artosis pylon I've ever seen.
I know, right? 4 gates and an embassy.
Yeah. So much worse in Cosmonaut because you only have to build one, right?
Yeah, technically. Now, here's one thing I'm a little bit critical of, and I know you are too, is the double Warden opener. Triple Warden, in fact.
Yeah.
3 Crow is being super defensive. He will have a witness.
Well, if he starts getting artisans, at least it makes sense. Look, you can say, like, if you map this out theoretically, what's strong or weak. But as long as it sort of has a logic behind it, I don't mind. So if he starts making artisans and or something techie on one base, okay. But if he's just sitting here and then he throws down a Nexus, I'm going to be very cross with him. Guess we'll see. I like Witness. Witness is always a good option. And, maybe he is kind of countering GeneralAnakin here because he's coming up with a lot of Legionnaires. But they aren't really that hard to kill Wardens with, are they?
No, yeah, the main thing is walling with the Dracodons, but the Ecclesiasts can be super useful, and he is making more than just one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, okay, you've got a lot of firepower, but like enough Legionnaires will just bust their ramp.
Yeah. Well, especially since you can't really wall versus them. The Legionnaire hits this, and then like 3 come up here on the right,
Well, think about it, though. If they start teleporting to that front Dracodon, they're actually going to get stuck behind that one. If they're right-clicked on it, they're actually going to fail to attack it. So it can be actually against the Legionnaires to teleport sometimes. Now look at that. Losing that Witness is very bad. Because now he doesn't know. He's like, oh, is he building a monument in there? Man,
yeah, no kidding.
Again, the Legion is present. GeneralAnakin confirmed is the one who commands the Legion.
That's right. Order 66 about to be executed over here. But the real question is whether or not he's going to be able to bust this situation. I feel like...
Again, he's got the high ground, though, so...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so it's Ardent? Okay.
Double Ardent.
It's a gateway in it?
Oh, no, yeah, it's a gateway.
No, it's a gateway. Fooled you, didn't it? Man, if you were playing this game, I don't know, you'd be fooled.
I would be fooled, yeah. I'd be like, oh,
so
okay.
What do you even get, though, that you're totaling on one base for? Like, you build up a bunch of architects? I guess you could get the Envoy and the Acantor, but I don't know, it's a lot of money.
Honestly, this whole series has been really weird because the rate of expansion is so slow for both players.
Yeah.
Well, he's thinking about it. He might be adding another Ardent here when he has the Vespine.
Well, I guess, this is just what it looks like when both players aren't macroing that hard. There's still a lot of tactics to it, It's almost like a different meta.
I don't know. Second Ardent, after your first one finishes, so you don't even make anything out of it? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
Servitors? I don't know. What else could you make? Oh, Positrons, actually, if you think about it, because they're not very expensive. maybe.
Witness going to come in on the side, avoid the one that's on the ramp here. It's telling that 3 is camping it with his own Witness, but he's still going to end up being revealed here.
All right, he's in a Cantor, and you know what? Actually, this does make sense because Anakin's just making hella Legionnaires.
Yeah.
You were saying teleport on top of them. That's not going to end well. Oof.
All right.
He's going in too fast, though.
He's going to go before the Legionnaires or before the Cantor can actually hit. The Ecclesia's taking some shots.
See what I mean about teleportation, though? It actually makes it worse for them. And they're just running around getting shot in the shooting gallery here. Terrible engagement from Anakin. He's starting to break through.
The right clicks needed to be a little bit better off there. Now the Legionnaires can port up to those ones. These Ecclesiasts are staying alive for way longer than I thought they would. But still, it's definitely a wipe in favor of 3 and he's going to be going for the drop now.
To do nothing. Yeah. Oh, the Envoy, he's going to go across and do massive damage here. I really hope Anakin has something other than Legionnaires at home. Okay, it's 3 Dracodons, which is enough to deal with this, but you have to be in position.
He's making his own Ardent at the natural, okay. Down workers, you know, not looking too hot, but...
If you're dealing with enemy Cantors, what do you make from the Ardent? I don't know.
Architect probably just to drop the Envoy. They outrange the Cantor as well, so...
I guess, but I feel like the Envoy will like fly up next to them, and then a Cantor will easily 1v1 them.
Yeah, you don't want just a single Architect, right? But I do like the Dracodons in the way. I would love for them to fan out a little bit so they would get it, but it might still work out.
Yeah, if he picks that off, I think Anakin's in a really good position because the expansion. Once again, the worker production letting him down so hard. Like he should be so far ahead here, but he's actually fairly behind. Well, he sees it, but what can he do about it? Oh, no drop. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, shot that direction.
Oh no.
And there aren't that many workers down here, so it's kind of like, meh. Well, he does keep it alive, though. Pretty huge.
Yeah. If he had lost that there, 3 would have been in an awkward position. Now, both players having about 1,000 minerals. We're going to get more Cantors out.
You know, despite inferior worker count, Anakin will have more money eventually because of mining out and saturation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positrons would be pretty good, I feel like, against this Cantor strat, because you can just at least fight at a reasonable distance. And if there's a bunch of envoys, you will destroy them.
Narrowly avoiding death on this Witness. He's going to be able to see that the Cantors are popping out of those. I don't know. I mean, third base coming.
It's very wacky.
A little bit off center.
Being mazed. Yeah. Oh no, that's an architect. I can't tell from the production thing. Okay. I mean, it is good that Anakin's transitioned from a lot of melee units to Dracodons now, which is going to be a lot better against the Cantors. I kind of wish he'd made like 100 Legionnaires so I could see them get annihilated.
Yeah, we saw that on Impetus. We don't need to see it again.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
So the Nexus will get scouted by that Witness. Still certainly a live game. Now, if 3 gets a little too antsy here, I mean, he doesn't really have any mobility. Make him more envoys right now so you can do the... You know, you only want a Cantor in an envoy right now. So, in terms of the space constraints.
I do like that he's taking another base, but again, he's sitting back in his natural, and I'm worried we're going to see a replay of game 1, where he's back in his natural, 3 is going to come kill his bases, and he's going to sit there, and then when the engagement comes, he'll be stuck in such a narrow area that he'll just get slaughtered. Especially against the Cantors.
A little bit rough.
I like the anti-drop, yeah. But
rough.
What's he protecting, man? There's really no scribes there. He's killed more of his own scribes by not making them than the Cantors ever would.
You miss all the shots you don't take, you kill all the workers you don't make. Neblime, 2024.
That's beautiful. I'm actually going to use that next time I cast CPL. Actually going to use that. That's so good.
There you go. I like it, though. I mean, I'm looking forward to what happens when 3 realizes that there are things that counter static defense. Namely the Architect. You can't.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Imagine if we had, like, I don't know,
one
Panopticus or something to come in. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Can I buy one?
Or better yet, you have like a Demiurge and an Envoy and you kind of steal them.
Got him.
Yeah, nice. Did he micro that?
Yeah, too. He's like, that was a manual correction.
Is he going to shuttle them one by one, like the train where he goes back and grabs the one at the back, puts it at the front?
Yeah. That should be what the AI does, right? Like the AI client.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful. Yeah. All right, here he comes. That's a lot of Cantors, man. He needs to just like avoid fighting this and let the Architects do it, but 2 Architects ain't going to do that much.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like the Cantors just melt the Zealots too, so.
Oh my god, this is the creep of doom over here.
Witness is going to come in and spot it. Distance mining
Again,
because
his
of that misplaced.
It's already
nexus.
dead, man. Already, Anakin cannot get his army over here to defend it. So
I know, yeah.
he's kind of given it up before anything even happened. He sees the army. I really hope this does not trigger the A move because that'd be a disaster.
Oh.
No.
Shell after shell after shell.
Okay, well, I mean, the Zealots aren't worth that much. Maybe he can still make some time for Draconians. The Arctic's doing their work from behind. It's going to take a while. Oh, he's losing so much so far. Servitor's even getting in here doing good damage. Oh, look at those Arcantor shots that are doing absolutely nothing.
I know, yeah. The Architects can't move back fast enough, though. And the Draconians have stayed alive long enough that the Acantors are still just free to volley out after volley. So this could actually be the death push here.
If he can somehow win this little battle here, which he's close to doing, oh, he can't lose that, but he's going to. Oh god, here come the Acantors, though. They're getting closer and closer.
Oh, look at all these Draconids he forgot about. Zealots storming down the ramp. They won't last very long.
Oh, no. Architect, no! Okay, he's dodging. He's dodging.
Dude, trick shot? Using scribes for cover?
It's not a good
Whoa!
time.
How did he do that? That's crazy. Oh my god, the scribes are dead. Well, listen, you saved the Architect, but you've lost all of your workers in exchange. Actually, he's got even workers with 3 crits still. This isn't bad.
Wow, he actually made some. That's good. He's going to lose the Ardent pretty fast, I think.
No, he can body block the projectile with the Zealot!
Mr. President, Mr. Ardent, get down.
Yeah, Mr. Architect and Mr. Ardent. I can't believe he's still in the game. Holy moly.
Yeah, and actually he's doing all right because Trick only just got his expansion, right?
Yeah,
But
well, look, this is what his expansion looks like right now. So.
That was utter chaos and devastation.
That's right. Now, there's going to be a double Acantor drop. That can wipe out the third. There's not really anything
he
over
never even
here.
took out the third. Actually, that's huge then. Tricker's actually doing pretty bad. Unless he does just murder it right now, which he may well do.
Yeah, well, there's only 10 scribes over here. How soon does 3Crow look at that 6 o'clock
Is an analog
situation?
reflector Cantor? Is that a thing that works?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. But they could just miss also.
Yeah, you can dodge it. Listen, I want to see a Cantor versus a Cantor. They just dodge it.
Can you even dodge? Are they fast enough?
Yeah, it depends on how far away they are.
Sounds amazing.
Near max range, yeah.
Oh.
No, they're just going to scoop by. This is the juicier target.
Defenses. Didn't make any wardens. He just got the Zealots, man. Oh, wait.
Okay, wait. He's going to get one of them. All right. Only one of the Acantors is going to end up being there after all. But, okay, it could still do some massive damage and ends up with 5 frags to its name already. There's the pull. He's just completely forgotten about these Dracodons every time. Oh, the fadeaway shot. Not going to get any more.
Is that enough Zealots? Let's see. Oh, well, is there a warden at the natural? Oh, the Architect is not going to do enough.
Oh, my God. No, this could be huge.
There are Dracodons there, at least. They'll clean it up in a minute, but yeah.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, it's happening. The happening is happening.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I just get it. You know, at the end of the day, Anakin's still at play here as long as he resaturates. But again, a rookie mistake, I feel like, is when you get harassed, you need to queue up 5 probes, man, or scribes, because you know you're going to need them. But he's not making any, which is a huge error here.
That's right, yeah. Well, somehow, the Wardens will not hard counter the enemy. I'm not really sure what's happening here, Neblime. I couldn't believe what I'm seeing.
But he has to run that Architect away. The Architect's just like, oh no, get me out of here. Oh, that's the hero from before. No, the Cantor's revenge. Oh. I think the Servitor killed it.
I know, yeah. Clap them with a shoe.
Maybe the Cantor did kill it. I don't know. Damn, what a shame. Yeah, I think it's tough because, you know, having watched these games, I know Anakin doesn't really have any long-term macro. But, like, theoretically, on paper, you look at the situation, you say, okay, you just zone the enemy army and you macro up and you're way ahead. But that's just not an option for Anakin. So he's going to try and come in here with the army, just a small part of it. Again, it's a bunch of Zealots. I mean, the Architect can try. But you know Protoss units have shields.
Too many Dracodons, and he's not even going to be able to evacuate his Architect. The range advantage surely is going to go the way of the Dodo here. Dropping down those Acantors. Yep, there's a couple of shots. Huge. Oh, and the Architect gets bopped on the ramp as well.
Oh, man, this is just mean. He knows he doesn't even have to worry that much about the damage because only one Dracodon. Oh, he almost got it.
No, he can pursue.
I like how you can drop it right on top and it'll hit almost instantly.
I know, yeah.
Is he going to catch it? They're dodging. Oh, that's amazing.
He did make a lot of Dracodons, and he salvaged a couple that were... Oh, no, he still has these 4 over here, but he's not resaturated. These workers are completely idle. Got some of these units just strewn about all over. If I didn't know any better, I'd say the replay broke, you know, but it's not the case. Like, he's just in that much of a bit of a disarray. He hasn't looked at his main in a while. Hasn't really been making that many workers. Now down 20. Architects of 3 Crows.
his army was all in one place. Could probably take on 3Co's army pretty easily. And, you know, 3Co's army's even swift. But look at this. He has the Architects now. Another Ardent. What's he doing with the main one?
It's idle right now. Don't worry. Now he's going to try to storm out here. He doesn't have his own Architect on the field yet, so he needs to select that and get it moving.
Again,
try to snipe out these Akantor envoys, but it's not going to happen. He's going after the Architect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. The Akantor's really doing a lot of damage here as well. Gets an envoy, but not the Akantor, and now the Akantors have the high ground. It's over, Anakin.
I think it is over, Anakin. You do not have the high ground anymore.
Here we go. Is he going to get that Servitor? He is.
I wonder if he's just a little bit tunnel visioned or something. But yeah, when the Servitors pop, they die just like vassals, so they speed your army up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
ooh,
so...
There goes my Architect. Interesting that 3Co's got the frontline Architect here, but I mean the Akantors as well, just doing so much damage.
I know,
oh my god. How much kills do those Akantors have? Can you check? Nope, I guess you can't now. 6? Oh, that one's about to get some more.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's brutal. GG's.
They almost killed it.
And General Anakin was not strong enough. He did not have the power. He was underestimated, but no more.
3Co is in. Wow. 3Co qualifies 2 battlements.
Yeah, 031 Kronobi right there.
Rename. Nice.
All right. Well, hey man, that's a pretty solid set. Didn't hurt to see General Anakin not able to cross the finish line. I feel like he was ahead in all of the games, except maybe Sideshow was a little bit more on the even side, but like he conceptually ahead for sure. To borrow Artosis's term, you know, like it's one of those things where he had the ability. If he had actually macroed up behind it, he was definitely ahead on Sideshow, and he just objectively was ahead on Axiom and Impetus. So, unfortunately, not able to take it. And we did see some really nice micro out of him, though.
It's not too unfortunate because it's not like you look at those and it's like, oh, he threw. It was more like you could just kind of see he didn't have the skills he needed to turn what he had into a victory. So,
yes.
I mean, it sounds like I'm saying it worse, but in a way, that's a better way to lose, I think, because it's not like you didn't give it your all. You know, you just didn't quite bring what you needed, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, for sure. And so we step away from that. We have one last series to take a look at, which will be Jack Yelensky versus Taco Cake ZVZ in that lower qualification round 2. 3Cro making it into battlements, like you said, and General Anakin has signed up for the second round. So that means that Gauntlet B will feature him, and maybe he'll be able to make it through. Remember, there's only 2 spots in there. So it's hard to say who's going to be the favorite to make it through, right? Would it be, you know, could you say General Anakin and Taco Cake or Jack Yelensky, depending on who loses that matchup? Like, those would be favorites on paper because they made it so deep this time around. But, you know, Benno's coming in renewed. The Beaver's still a threat. And then we got this new guy, Top Ramen, you know, like, who knows what he's going to be doing. Obviously, Biddy B's Protoss still is sharp. And we have Grunch, the brother of Urbon, as Terran. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with that. So, you know, there's a lot of people competing for just 2 spots here. And I feel like it's only going to get a little bit scarier in that gauntlet when the next match gets played and we figure out which Zerg is making it in versus which one is going to be stuffed into that second gauntlet. So,
well, wasn't I saying these gauntlets are cutthroat? And honestly, maybe it's just the nature of the gauntlet, right? It's been pretty intense, but I love it. I think this Acropolis is shaping up really exciting.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, man. Big smiles all around. Any final words for 3Cro or General Anakin now that their fates are determined?
Remember the Purifier.
Remember the Purifier. The strategy where you purify your enemy's base.
Kronogo won't tell us about it. It's secret, trust me.
Yeah, it'll turn into a factional unit or some shit. All right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that has been us casting yet another one of these qualifier series. One more to go. We'll see you then.